Welcome to A Voice for Creators. I'm your host, Daniel Norton. This week I want to talk about a couple of things, a couple of books actually. So I just picked up a brand new book called The One Thing, which I've just flipped through, which I normally do when I first get a book. And there was a page in it that had a dog ear, like somebody had marked it, which you really shouldn't do to a library book. But anyways, I immediately was drawn to it because it said there was a chapter called The Four Thieves. And I just quickly looked because it was a highlighted section, and the four thieves of productivity: inability to say no, fear of chaos, poor health habits, environment doesn't support your goals. Number 2 really stuck with me. And unfortunately, it's near the end of the book, so I'm not going to get to it right away. But I thought it was really interesting because I think that is something that I get caught on a lot. I'm not going to say I'm a control freak. I'm definitely not that. I can be pretty chill. But I do worry when things start to get out of control. Sometimes I'm too chill, and what ends up happening is things pile up. They pile up, and then you look, and then you just like, whoa, okay, something's going on here, and I got to dig in and fix it, right? Which then is, I guess, a time thief on some level. So it should be interesting what they say about that, but I thought that was really interesting because, whenever you're reading these books, you find something generally in it that you can, even if they're not talking specifically about you, where you can kind of see a connection there. And definitely the idea that we have control, right? We when we're younger, we're children or whatever, maybe we don't care, or we just know we don't have control, so we just let it be, right? That we go to school, we do what our parents say, we do whatever. And then once we're kind of released into the world, a lot of us embrace the chaos at first. It's like we can do anything, and we're going to eat chocolate for dinner, and we're going to do this and that. But then later, as we start to establish ourselves into careers and into life, we find, most of us anyways, find at least some pleasure or comfort in being able to control our surroundings. It's one of the reasons why people are hesitant to, let's say, start a business, right? Because if you have a job, you know exactly how much, usually, roughly anyways, you're going to make each week, which means you can control what you're able to buy to keep yourself within certain budgets to do the things, you know where you're at. And it gives you this sense of security, right? When you jump out into a business, you don't know. You could be making a lot of money one month, no money the next month. Been there, done that, doing it now. This is the nature of being self-employed, this chaos. So that's not the chaos I'm afraid of there. But I have this like chaos with organization. Things just pile up on me. I get kind of crowded on things because I focus on one task a lot, which is just generally how I work, which this is called the one. So we'll see how those two things work against each other. But speaking of tasks that I've been working on, I made an announcement a few weeks back and asking for some people to be advanced readers on my new book that I wrote. And I got some great responses. Thank you, everyone who's read it and given it a review. I really appreciate it. Well, until the 26th of this month, which is April, so today's the 23rd, I believe. On the 26th of April, or until then, I should say, the book is on a free promotion. So if you are interested in my book and you want to read it, jump over on Amazon. I will put a link in the show notes to where you can pick it up. It's free for the Kindle edition for the next 4 or 5 days. Now, the book is not about photography, as I mentioned before. If you missed the other podcast, it's about negative thinking and how to kind of overcome it and some of my experiences with that. So hopefully that interests you. If it does on any level, pick it up now while it's free. And also, it helps me if you do that because it's an algorithm thing. Everything's an algorithm, right? The whole world is an algorithm. So if you have an account, you want to just grab it, I appreciate it. That would be awesome. If you want to read it, even better. If you want to share it with people, even better. If you want to leave it a review, even better. But none of that's required. Pick it up. It's free. Enjoy. And this is something I'm planning on focusing on more and more. I've been hinting at it a little bit. A lot of people have asked me in the past about writing some kind of a book. And generally when they say that, they want me to write a photography book. They put the light stand here, do this. But that is just... it's just not my thing. I mean, maybe, I don't know. I don't, if you've ever watched, I'm assuming you have, if you listen to the podcast, my style, my videos, I don't believe there's one fixed way to do something. So it's hard for me to create a book that this is how you do it. Now, this is about one way you do it. Cool. And maybe if people really want that kind of book, that's what I'm going to do. But I want to focus on these kind of books that are about people, being able to find themselves and improve themselves. Because I think being an artist is about self-improvement, about finding the thing inside of us and putting it out there. And that act of sharing what's in us is powerful. And this is really where I want to head with this series. I started off kind of more general. You read the book, you'll see. But we're going to get deeper into that stuff as the series continues. So I do appreciate everybody's support there. Again, I will put a link in the show notes. I'll also put a link to this book. I can't recommend it yet, but it seems pretty good. I grabbed it at the library, which is probably a good way to do it. I generally do that at first with a book, and then if I like it, I buy it. So you can grab that at the library, or I'm sure it's on Amazon or something. I'll put a link. I'll put a link to my book. If there'll also be links to, of course, my Discord server. If you haven't joined the Discord server, go ahead and jump over there and join. It'll be super great to join the conversation. We get some lot of fun people over there posting images, talking about philosophy of photography. Thanks everyone who's over there. I try to dive in when I can, but I've been writing a book, so I've been kind of busy. But I'll get back in there more in the future. And also, if you would like to support the stuff I do, you could also join my Patreon. Check it out. All that stuff's in the show notes. I will talk to you soon.